Okay, welcome to this GCSE revision video. This is video 4 of 5 videos looking at the paper 3 topic, world religion option of Buddhist practices. And in this video, 4 or 5 videos, we will look at festivals and retreats. So, Buddhist festivals and retreats. What's a festival? Well, it's a day or a period of time of celebration for religious reasons. What's a retreat? Well, again, it's a period of time spent away from everyday life in order to focus on something like meditation practice. And in Buddhism, there are 2 main festivals. Vesak is a festival that most Buddhists practice. It's certainly a Theravada festival that celebrates the Buddha's birth, his enlightenment, and his passing away. In Mahayana, they tend to focus on his passing away, and they call it Parnivya Day. A Mahayana festival that just commemorates his passing away. Buddhist festivals are usually a time of joy, of celebration, although Parnivya Day is a solemn and sad festival, remembering the death of the Buddha and Buddhists' own loss and death. Some festivals are specific to a certain tradition or country. Mahayana Buddhists might celebrate the birthdays of certain bodhisattvas, particularly in the Tibetan tradition or Pure Land. Most major festivals celebrate significant events in the Buddha's life, however, such as his first sermon after his enlightenment, which is called Ashala Puja Day in Theravadan Buddhism. So there are other minor festivals. We're just focusing on the main ones here. Now, retreats are popular in countries like the UK and give worshippers a weekend or a week away from their everyday life to focus on their faith. Could be held in a monastery or in a Buddhist centre. Retreats give an opportunity to deepen their understanding of Buddhist practice and can involve some meditation talks and some study groups and taking part in rituals. Now we focus in on Theravada and the festival of Vesak, known often as Buddha Day. It's a really important Buddhist festival. It's celebrated in the full moon during the month of Vesak, which usually falls in about May. The festival remembers the 3 important times in the Buddha's life: his birth, his enlightenment, and his passing into Parinibbana. And these 3 events are supposed to happen on a full moon. Remember the night of the Buddha's enlightenment. The festival remembers the Buddha and his teaching. How do you celebrate Vesak? Well, it's important for Buddhists to light up their homes with paper lanterns and candles. They put up decorations. Offerings will be made to the Buddha, such as food, especially candles and lights, and flowers to the monks in the local monastery. The monks may lead meditation, may lead chanting from Buddhist scriptures, or give sermons about the Buddha's teaching, especially about his enlightenment. Specifically in Singapore, there are ceremonies where caged birds and animals are released as a symbol of liberation, to release bad karma and remember the Buddha's release from the cycle of samsara. In other Buddhist countries like Indonesia, they celebrate Vesak by lighting and releasing paper lanterns to symbolize how the Buddha's Dharma can be used to overcome the darkness of ignorance and light the path to enlightenment, to get rid of the 3 poisons: ignorance, greed, and hatred, and get to enlightenment. So why is it important? For a couple of reasons. It affords Buddhists the opportunity to remember the Buddha, the heart of their faith. For some Buddhists, this means remembering his birth, enlightenment, and for others, it's his passing away in Parinibbana. That's really important, his death. One reason why Vesak is important is because it reminds and teaches Buddhists about key aspects of the Buddha's teaching, or Dharma. And this is supported in the Dhammapada, which says all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. By celebrating in some celebration practice, for example, the releasing caged animals, Buddhists remember anicca. Every state, every feeling, all of life is impermanent. So in Mahayana, Vesak becomes Parinibbana Day. And it's a solemn Mahayana festival celebrated not in May, but in February. And it remembers the Buddha's passing into Parinirvana. This celebration is not cheerful because it's remembering his passing, And during this festival, Buddhists will reflect on their own death and remember their friends or relatives who've passed away. Impermanence, loss, spending time remembering the dead are a major focus thus of the day. How do you celebrate? Well, you might read from the Parinirvana or the Mahaparinirvana, the Great Parinirvana Sutra, an important Buddhist scripture that describes the Buddha's last days, and passages are read out during the day. Buddhists may spend time reading the text and meditating at home, or joining others in temples and in monasteries for puja and meditation. Some Buddhists may go on to a retreat for quiet reflection and meditation. Some Buddhists may go on a traditional day for pilgrimage or yatra, and maybe to, in particular, visit the site of the Buddha's death in the city of Kusnagar in India. They may visit a temple complex, a local temple complex, and perform puja to give thanks and remember the Buddha and his death. So why is Parinirvana or Vesak in Mahayana important? Well, it's important because it affords Buddhists the opportunity to remember the Buddha. For some Buddhists, this means remembering his passing into Parinirvana, death. One reason it's important is because it reminds Buddhists of the key aspects of the Buddha's Dharma, supported by the Dhammapada, which says all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. By engaging in some of the celebrated practices, for example, meditating on offering of flowers, Buddhists remember anicca, that every state, every feeling of all of life is impermanent. Well, what else? Well, there is the festival of Kathina, especially for Theravada, and it's a peculiarly Theravada festival. It celebrates the end of the 3-month rainy season retreat called Vasa. A group of monks were traveling to the Buddha when they were unable to get to him due to the rain. They spent 3 months in retreat and then went to visit the Buddha. Their robes were all dirty and torn, so the Buddha gave them cloth to make new robes. And this began the practice of Kathina. What happens during Kathina? Well, for monks, having stayed inside during Vasa, they will do extra meditation. And lay Buddhists will bring offerings of cloth for robes and food to eat during this time. Kathina marks the end of this when they move on. For lay Buddhists, they will do some extra meditation and try and give up something for 3 months, e.g. alcohol or smoking during Vasa. They will follow the Buddha's example and be generous to the Buddhist monks, dana, and so do puna, develop merit, and they will show metta to others. Retreats are a peculiarly Western thing, where we want to have a bit of the religion, but not too much, as it were. In the UK, there are a number of retreats that Buddhists use to practice meditation and remember the Buddhist life. Buddhists may use retreats to remember key moments in the Buddhist life, but also to free themselves from the 3 poisons, from cravings, to undertake samatha or vipassana meditation. This is unusual, and it's trying to be both involved in the sort of harder forms of meditation and yet have everyday life. But there are examples of retreats across both the UK and beyond. The Tara Buddhist Meditation Centre, the Samatha Centre, the Arjuna Ratnagiri Harnam Buddhist Monastery, in all places in the UK, but in India and beyond, you have Bodh Gaya, the place of the Buddha's enlightenment, Kusnagar, the place of his death. So retreats are really important because they afford Buddhists the opportunity to remember the Buddha's life. For example, if a Buddhist retreated to Kusnagar, they may reflect on the Buddha's death and how the Buddha escaped the suffering of samsara, and that they may aim to do so as well. One reason retreats are important is because they allow Buddhists to engage in Buddhist practice. For example, if Buddhists were to retreat to a meditation center, they could engage in samatha, metta, or vipassana meditation. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha says those on the meditative path will be released from Mara's fetter. Freedom from craving is a goal for many Buddhists. So this has been video 4 of 5 videos looking at festivals and retreats. Now go and learn your key vocabulary and quotation using the Quizlets, do the topic tests, on the website and read some practice model essay answers and have a go at some practice questions.